voting for the BNP or voting for a racist party is the right thing. And Sir Stanley Matthews would be totally against this. And he is a hero of Stoke. And he was born and bred in Stoke, and he played for Stoke for many years. And he was born in Hanley, 1915. And I was running through the centre of Stoke, and his statue is there. And I was looking at that because I love football. I lived for football when I was a kid. I took it back up after 30 years. But I was looking at this statue, and I knew about Sir Stanley Matthews, and I didn't know he was knighted in his own lifetime. And I read out the inscription, and I'll read this inscription again for you right here. This is a beautiful thing. This is what I copied down off the thing. Sir Stanley Matthews, born Hanley, 1st of February 1915. His name is symbolic of the beauty of the game, his fame, timeless and international, his sportsmanship and modesty universally acclaimed, a magical player of the people, for the people. And I guessed I thought, should I use him as an example to the people of Stoke? And I thought, I hope he was positive on the question of race, because you can't quite tell. So I made a gut judgment. I thought, I think he is. So I thought I'll use it. And I said I think Stanley Matthews would hate it if you're voting for the BNP. And then I was told that Stanley Matthews went to Soweto under his own steam and was teaching black kids in South Africa to play football. And the pictures are just over there. And it's a beautiful thing. And this is a man, what generosity. This man who played football till he was 50 years old, which is an incredible thing. And you think, oh, maybe in the old days it was all different. When he came back after the war and he was playing when he was 32, they were saying, can you do this? 32, and he played up to the age of 50. I mean, this is an amazing man. So he would be totally against anyone in Stoke, in the whole area, voting for the BNP. So I encourage people not to vote, but to vote for any party but the BNP on the 4th of June. And people are pissed off with politicians and politics, I understand. But if you do not vote, that decision resounds over the next 5 years. So do vote for someone.
You talk about, or not obviously yourself, I mean, the feeling is that it's a very linked to Nazis and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I know in, for instance, in your Dress to Kill show, you sort of talk about Hitler. You call him probably something that we can't really air on here.
I said he was a mass murdering fucker.
That's exactly, yeah.
And I tell you more about that. I don't know you ask me a question, and I'll tell you.
No, you go on.
Well, I'm in Valkyrie, the film Valkyrie, which is a film about the German soldiers, the German military, trying to assassinate Hitler, which I think was a fantastic thing. Murdering Nazis, I'm not for killing people, but murdering Nazis, I'm fine about it. So there you go. And that was World War II, so that was a different thing. So I was playing this role, and it's British actors playing it, and German kids can watch, for the first time, German soldiers trying to kill Hitler. And we had a press conference, and there were Tom Cruise and lots of great British actors, and Tom Wilkinson and Ken Branagh. And somebody asked me, you said that Hitler was a mass murdering fucker, do you still stand by that? I know we can't say, you can bleep out the words that you have to bleep out. And I do, absolutely. This guy was just off the rails, but I said what the German people really were. I believe that Hitler kidnapped the German people. He kidnapped the levers of government. He kidnapped freedom of speech. You couldn't do anything. And if you'd stood up, he would shoot you, or he'd put you in a concentration camp, and then you would die anyway. It came to the place where no one felt they could say anything, and so he kidnapped a country. But the real German people are the 250,000 that turned out to see Barack Obama, an African-American man, mother from Kansas and father from Kenya, who is now president of the United States of America. It's a beautiful thing. That's a wonderful signal to the world. And we should not be voting in the BNP in Britain, because that sends out such a terrible signal to the world. The people of the world are going to look at it and say, what are you doing? That is not what civilization is about. So, I had this press conference, and they said, do you stand by those words? And I said, yes, absolutely, I do stand by those words. And fascism, we fought it between 1939 and 1945, and it's the 65th anniversary of D-Day on the 6th of June. On the 4th of June we vote, and the 6th of June, it's the anniversary of D-Day, 65 years. I'm going to be there. I will be there in Normandy. I was there 5 years ago, and I believe it was an amazing thing that they did. That whole invasion was fantastic. All the allies coming together to attack the fascists, and we must make sure that we're not voting fascists into Britain, into the European Parliament. It would just be a terrible thing. We don't believe in it. It's not a British thing. Sir Stanley Matthews, a Stoke man, born and bred, a wonderful person, he does not believe in it. He taught kids in Soweto in South Africa to play football. So please don't vote for the BNP on the 4th of June. Vote for any other party, but do vote. Vote for the Greens, vote for the Blues, for the Yellows, the Pinks, anyone, but do not vote for the BNP.